Hey guys, so in this video, this is a really special video. This is kind of like a what it was like to work at the Great Movie Ride because as you may know, if I'm posting this video properly, today is the day that the Great Movie Ride is closing. Today is their last day, August 13th, and it's very bittersweet to me, and I will get into that why in a second. But I'm going to briefly go over what the roles were. You had the greeter, you had Fast Pass, of course, you had the merge person who kind of let wheelchairs go down and make sure the line was being monitored well, like if anyone wanted to kind of dip out or whatever because the line got kind of crowded. And then you also had the Fast Pass merge, like, person who merges the Fast Pass and the standby together. And then you had our casting director, which the casting director basically called for people to go into the show, to go onto our stage, sound stage, and that's once you got past through those doors. And once you got past through those doors, you had the assistant director A and the assistant director B. Those two people loaded both vehicles, our front and our back vehicles. For those who don't know, front one was a Western, back one was the gangster, or if there was just one, it was the gangster video, or video show. And then you had them make sure everyone was loaded into the vehicle, checking the doors, making sure the show got dispatched on time. And then you had the tour guides, which, in case you didn't know, everyone was a tour guide. All we did was we take our blazers off. If we were in our reds and we threw our hat on, if we were, casting or any of our other red positions, and then when we went on our sound stage, we put our blazers on, we, with our little billboard and our name tag, and then we loaded the vehicles and hopped on the vehicle. And there were about 10 vehicles total could be on the track, but typically about 5 ran at a time. We typically didn't have the cowboy, the Western one, unless it was like really, really busy. But lately we've been, right now today is like the 6th, so we're super, super busy still, and we've been having all of our vehicles going, which has helped a little bit. Let's see, what else? And yeah, that's pretty much it. It doesn't seem like it's a whole lot, but because you've got 10 vehicles, you've got a driver for each one. Yes, we did drive the vehicles ourselves. They did run on a magnetic track and slow down on their own, but if we had to stop, we controlled how fast it went. We didn't go steer it left or right. But you had each driver, and then you had a bandit or a gangster that hijacked. So if you do the math in your head, that's a lot of cast, which we typically don't have that many cast members, and so that I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to go into the cons. Oh, it's also very similar to Jungle and Safari. So if you are looking to go into Jungle Cruise or the Kilimanjaro Safaris, how our rotations are set up, which is very different. So if you're going from a regular attraction to one of those, it is very different. And it's a little confusing. I won't get into it right now, but I'm going to very quickly do the pros and the cons, and then I have a special little tribute that I'm going to do after this video is over. Cons. It is very, very fast-paced and very physical. As you know, I've been working a lot of different roles and locations and different parks, and this is the most challenging attraction that I've ever experienced, to the point where I've never really had to sit down and ask myself seriously, why am I still a cast member, until I worked this attraction. It was that hard. It's a lot of like rush, and then wait. Like it's a lot of like run, make sure all the doors are checked, or run, make sure you're on their vehicle, or get this person there, and then stop, if you have time to stop. And everything is timed. Literally everything is timed. From the moment a vehicle pulls in, there's a timer. Orchestra goes off, you gotta get people loaded in, and then the tour guide has to be on that vehicle at a specific moment, say their spiel in a specific time, and then they have to go because the next one is right behind them. Everything is like clockwork, and when something happens and something stops, either because there's a problem with the vehicle or there's a problem that you weren't able to get that last person in, it causes a backup. And that's a lot of stress to put on a small amount of people, which is why I'm very thankful to be leaving the Great Movie Ride. I'm sad it's closing, but I'm very grateful to be leaving the Great Movie Ride. And it's attraction, like I said, it takes a lot of people. It's an attraction that needs a lot of extra fluff positions, extra people to help out, be kind of the assistant this or assistant that. We have a casting director too that is very, very helpful, that typically helps with loading wheelchairs in. and any show requests we may have, and any other extra problems while the first casting director is loading and making sure all of the extra people are added in, and da 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 da. A lot of other little things. Casting director is very busy. And then same thing with, we have another like head usher that kind of helps in loading wheelchairs, and making sure they're going in the right direction and the party twos are going in the right direction. And then also we have a person outside that can help our front usher and our fast pass greeter with pretty much any problem they may have, because they're so spaced out from each other they can't really leave their positions. Sometimes you need someone to check the line, sometimes you need someone to go grab a stroller or food in the line or something, and it's helpful to have that extra position. Oh, and then stage assist, helping closing the doors, make sure everyone's scooting to the end. But those extra positions weren't really there often, especially this last year. We kind of like a little spin off of what happened in the last video with everyone transferring everywhere because we had too many people. We went from having too many people to too few people. And especially with the Great Movie Ride closing, they didn't hire any extra people, and so we went from having like a lot of hours during Christmas, and then that never stopped. I don't want to talk too much more badly about the Great Movie Ride. I want to tell you some of my favorite things about the Great Movie Ride. I love being on stage. In case you haven't noticed, I love being on stage and performing, and just, I love it. I get a kick out of it. And this is the only attraction that you can really, other than Jungle Cruise and Kilimanjaro Safaris, where you can like be a part of the show. Typically you're a supporting cast. You're not a part of the show unless you're in entertainment. If you're in entertainment, then you are the show. And this is one of the very few attractions where you get to do that. And you get to be yourself, especially if you're a tour guide. Hi, my name is Danny, and I'll be your guide in this magical journey into the movies. Like, that's awesome that you get to do that and kind of like show off and be like, this is this and that is that. You can't really do that in any other attraction. And it's very unique. Like, even like Kilimanjaro Safaris is kind of like that, but like you don't really get hijacked. It's one person the entire go round. And yeah, you're in a boat, which is really cool, but like this has animatronics and you interact with the animatronics, and it's like a show, and even more so than the Jungle Cruise and Kilimanjaro Safaris. Like, that's more focusing on the animals or the humor or the facts. This is facts and some entertainment, which is really cool. And I've never really seen any attraction like the Great Movie Ride. And it's a very respected attraction. I've got a list down here, that's why I looked down. It's as of now, the last running attraction that hasn't been changed into something else from opening day. Yes, the attraction has changed often as of its script or certain things. Like at one point the tour guide actually died, I guess, and then came back to life. But like, it's the last one from MGM Studios from opening day that is still there, and soon it will be gone, and Hollywood Studios will be completely different. Yeah, you'll still have Tower and a couple of other things, but I think this is Disney's way of kind of like not erasing the past, but like getting all of their older attractions out of the way and coming up with a new park, which, yeah, it's sad. It's had a long 28 years. It's a very unique, very awesome attraction. It has like its own like fan base that I didn't even realize it had until like the last month or so, which is great. And I am honored to be on the closing team. My last shift is the 12th. I'm closing that day, and I'm closing just enough that I have enough time to hop on one more show and see it as a guest, and I'm very excited about that. And like I said, I'm very honored to be on closing team. I'm very excited to leave, but I am sad that it is closing because there are so many casts who absolutely love this attraction with all their heart, and I can see that they are absolutely sad that they're gonna have to leave. And on that note, I am going to say this really, really quickly. I'm actually transferring to Frozen as of now, Frozen Sing-Along and / possibly Pack Parade Control as well. I start training next week, so that will be exciting. So you'll be getting kind of like, or go check out my channel, The Danny Diaries, to see that training, follow my journey training with that. I will definitely keep you guys up to date and do a video about that next month, about overall what it was like. But anyway, without further ado, here is my tribute video to the Great Movie Ride. I hope you guys like it. Like I said, today is its last running day. So I hope you guys were able to go and see it. If you want to see one of my last shows, my last show to be filmed anyway, check out my Danny Diaries channel. My fiance was able to jump on a show a week or so ago and film it. And so, yeah, here's to the great movie ride.